Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Don from 1A Auto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And the next time you need a part for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a water pump on this 2003 Nissan Altima with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's the same part and process on these Altimas from 2002 to 2008 and on the Sentras from 2002 to 2009. The items you'll need for this is a new water pump from 1AAuto.com, 10mm to 14mm sockets and ratchet with an extension, 5mm Allen bit, 14mm wrench, pry bar, Phillips screwdriver, drip pan, and a funnel with a screen. Start off by removing the radiator fill cap, as well as your overflow bottle cap. And now under the vehicle, in this hole right here, you'll see this is your coolant drain. Using a Phillips screwdriver, just twist that plug out. And make sure you have a drain pan that's clean to collect all that coolant. Once the coolant stops pouring out, replace the plug. Using a 10mm socket and ratchet, you just want to disconnect your negative battery cable. Now you want to just remove this engine cover, and it's held in by 4 5mm Allen bolts. Just go ahead and remove those. On your alternator, you'll see there's one 10mm bolt right here and another 10mm bolt right here. You want to just go ahead and remove those. Now disconnect your alternator harness. Just press the tab and pull it free. And under this cap here, you'll see that there's a 12mm bolt. You want to just go ahead and remove that. Now use a 14mm wrench and just place it onto the tensioner right here. And now when you press down on this wrench, it's going to loosen the belt.
Pull the belt off the alternator, try and keep it on the other pulleys, and then slowly release the tension on the wrench.
The alternator is secured by two 14mm bolts right here. And we'll fast forward as Don removes those. The lower bolt, you're going to realize it's a very long 14mm bolt. So we actually have to lift up the fuse box so that we have better access. So you want to pull off that cap, and then you want to remove this 10mm bolt right here. And he did actually need some penetrating oil for that. And then you just want to lift it up just enough so you can get that lower bolt out the rest of the way. And we actually just push it down with a pry bar and it pulls right out. Now take the pry bar and pry your alternator out. With the alternator out of the way, you can see your water pumps right here. And it's held in by these 3 12mm bolts. You want to just go ahead and remove those. When you get to this lower bolt, you realize it can't come out all the way because of the pulley. You just need to grab your 14mm wrench and push down on the tensioner. And now you can just twist that bolt right out. and then you want to just carefully release the tension. Now using a pry bar, pry your water pump out. Make sure you have a drip pan under it because coolant will come out. And now using a razor blade, we're just going to clean up the area where the water pump was. On the right is the old part, on the left is the new part from 1A Auto with the new gasket. You can see it's identical and it will mount exactly the same. Make sure your gasket's in place and then just push the water pump into place. And you want to just replace the easier to get to bolts. And for now you can just put each of them in by hand. For the lower bolt, again, just use that 14mm wrench on the tensioner and then just twist in the bolt by hand. Now using your 12mm wrench, tighten up those 3 bolts the rest of the way. Now take your alternator and put it into place, and you want to put it into place with that lower bolt. So again, just kind of do it from underneath the fuse box.
And you can leave that bolt a little bit loose. Now replace the upper bolt, and once you hand thread that in, then tighten both those bolts up.
And now you just want to replace these 2 10mm bolts along the top here. And make sure that you have that wire in place as you do that.
And be sure to put this bracket back in place properly. Reconnect your alternator harness and put the battery wire back on and tighten up that nut.
And now you just want to replace that 10mm bolt that secures the fuse box in place. And replace the fuse box cover.
Take your 14mm wrench, get it down on the belt tensioner, push it down, and pull the belt on. And you can see here we get it part way up. And then we reposition the wrench and get the belt all the way on. Reconnect the negative battery cable.
The engine cover back into place and replace those 4 5mm Allen bolts. Now using a funnel with a screen, pour your coolant back into the radiator. And replace your radiator cap.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.